to be talking about the upcoming elections on the 29th of May. As today is the 19th, in about 10 days, we will be going to vote, and we will be exercising our democratic right, constitutional right to vote for a party that we believe has a chance of changing our lives. So, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. We are going to discuss a few things today as it pertains to the coming elections. So I'm going to focus on about maybe 10 or not more than 15 political parties. I'm just going to discuss a few topics that I think are of interest to all of us. Everyone who's going to vote, everyone who is of age, and who qualifies to go and vote, go out there on the 29th, go and exercise your constitutional right, go and vote for a party that you believe can bring some change. Because to be honest, we are all tired of seeing the repetition and failed attempts of the ANC at changing our lives and changing our circumstances. Everybody will attest to the fact that things are expensive, load shedding is unbearable. There are a lot of things that we are dealing with. So I think just put it at the back of your mind as you go to vote that this is our opportunity to change some things. This is our chance to shift the paradigm and change things in a way that will benefit ourselves and our children in the future. So in terms of the top 10, because there are a lot of parties, I think if I'm not mistaken, there are about 360 something parties that are contesting these elections, but it would be pointless to sort of analyze or discuss about each and every party. But I'm going to focus on what is most likely to happen based on the past elections that we had in 2021. These are the sort of like a benchmark that we can use to look at what we are facing in the upcoming elections, to see the performance that we can expect from these parties that we are supporting. So in South Africa, everybody, what comes to mind in everyone's mind is maybe the top three, the top five, and some other notable parties that are popular in the media. And also the popularity in the media and on social media doesn't necessarily translate into performance. It doesn't necessarily translate into competence. So you can't really judge a party going into these elections based on how popular they are, because there are a lot of charismatic leaders in our country, or I like to call them personalities. They're not so much leaders. They don't really show great qualities of a leader, but they are mostly populist people who say things that connect with a lot of people. They have what we call charisma. They charm you with a lot of things that they say that will make you that will tempt you into giving your vote to them. So I will discuss the top 10 and maybe a few honorable mentions with the parties that I believe everybody knows of. And I think you should focus on, if you are going to choose a party, focus on the top 10, the parties that we know have some sort of track record, whether it's in the local government or track record of a leader. If there is a leader that you believe that they have integrity and they can bring some change, or whatever they're saying they're going to deliver, maybe they cannot deliver half of that. So I think it's a bit unrealistic to expect that everything that is written in your favorite party's manifesto is going to be executed. There are a lot of stumbling blocks, of course, when you are dealing with these parliament sittings and National Council of Provinces, your local government sittings in the councils. There are a lot of oppositions that happen, a lot of sabotages. So to think that whatever you heard or on the radio or you attended a rally and you heard some of these things that the leaders of your favorite parties are saying, it will be unrealistic and a bit immature to believe that all these things are going to happen and you are basing your vote solely on what you have heard. I think it would be wise to look at every party, potentially look at what you think is a strong point or a good idea in each of these parties' manifestos. There are parties which have good ideas, of course, and some of them are unrealistic dreams. They are selling us dreams. Some of these things you'll just see be based on what they are saying, that if it was possible, it would have been done already, or to some extent we would have seen like beginning stages of these things. So for example, if a party promises you 2 million jobs, for example, and you look in the past 5 years, how many jobs did the ANC produce? How many jobs are out there in the private sector? So to get a party that promises you 2 million jobs is a bit unrealistic. Year on year, we are seeing political parties and other people like your premiers and mayors going and doing the best that they can to create jobs, but to sell people a dream of 2 million jobs in 5 years within the time that you are voted to create jobs and to deliver on your promises, it's a bit unrealistic. And rather let the people know that you aim to improve the economy, stimulate the economy for the sake of creating jobs, instead of promising because you are trying to buy votes, promising that you're going to create 2 million jobs, you're going to do this and that, things that they are very unrealistic. And when you do fail, like the ANC has failed many times when they even promised 1 million jobs, they failed to achieve that, and they keep on saying it is not the job of the government to create jobs. Hey, it's the private sector, things of that nature. It's not only applicable to the ANC. Only all these parties at some point they are going to come back and say it's not our job to create jobs. It is the job of the private sector. We delegate that to the private sector. They are all going to say something like that. So when you go and vote, when you make your decision on the 29th, look at what is realistic within the circumstances. Our country has been grey listed in recent times. Last year, 2023, and this year, there's been some talk of downgrading because of the state of our country, because of the way that we manage our financial principles. We don't have stringent policies in terms of mitigating and reducing risks of money laundering and these terrorist groups moving money around between South Africa and outside countries. So because of those reasons and just the caliber of leadership that we have in the country, things of that nature has led our country to getting downgraded for various reasons. So to expect the ANC or any party for that matter going into government to pull off a miracle would be unrealistic. The expectation would be misguided. So I think just keep that in mind as you go to vote, that not everything that you have heard is going to happen. So all these parties will produce whatever they produce. They have their own reasons, and we are going to look at a few of those. So let me start with the top three, being the ANC, the DA, and the EFF. These are the parties that have the most votes and the most seats in the provincial government and national government, and also that translate into the local government, your municipalities. And also, outside of the top 10, you do have some parties like your Patriotic Alliance and your Action SA that have had some success in the local government. And this 2024 election will be the first time that some of these parties will be competing to get your vote. So starting with the ANC we all know is the party that is the most popular in Africa and South Africa as a whole, led by your favorite leader Nelson Mandela in the past times, and other leaders like your O.R. Tambo and the Mbekis, and your Jacob Zumas, and currently Ramaphosa. So most people they do know the struggles that we have experienced with the ANC, the things that we have dealt with, and another thing that I would like to just mention is when you look at these parties, most of them they have a tagline, also known as a slogan. So this slogan, it sort of summarizes the contents of the promises that they're making, the contents of the manifestos that they have. For example, the EFF tagline will say our land, our jobs now. They will talk about load shedding, and when you go into each page of their manifestos, you find they go deeper into what they are going to do to achieve these promises, being there are three things that they are focused on most. There are other things that they do have as part of their manifesto, but they highlight the most important ones on their slogan for a reason. And you will have the DA with the slogan saying "Rescue South Africa" or "Rescue SA." So they are saying that they have a new model that they would want to use, that is going to rescue South Africa, because maybe most of their things, if you go and read their manifesto, most of the things that they're talking about is in opposition of the ANC and the EFF and other parties. Most of the things, I will go into that when I discuss the DA. Most of the things that they discuss about or outline in their manifesto and their promises, they are very much radically opposed to what the ANC is doing. So let me start with the ANC. Their slogan is saying, "Let's do more together," and this is very typical of the ANC. In other words, just only observing the slogan, they are trying to say that give them more time, give them another chance to continue doing what they do, which in some other way it does make sense that if you uproot them or take them out of the path that they've been working for the past 30 years, you will be disrupting the projects that they have started. And another party, let's say for example another party like the DA, comes in with totally opposing ideas in load shedding, in job creation, in nationalization of ESCOM, or versus privatization of ESCOM, things of that nature, and how they aim to change the education sector, how they aim to change the healthcare sector. They have totally opposing views. So by the ANC saying that let's do more together, they're asking for your vote to say give them another chance. The things that they are saying on the ANC manifesto is not different at all, like as compared to what they have said in the past. In the past 30 years, they have said the same thing. It's been the same story. We are dealing with load shedding. They have been working on the national health insurance for the past 10 plus years. Since 2007, they've been working on that. So when they say let's do more together, they sort of give you some crumbs to say, get this now, there is more coming later. So then you get tempted to go and vote for them on the premise that they need more time to go and do what they've been doing all along, what they've been delaying. And sometimes you have to give them credit also, because some of the delays that they are facing is not because of them. There are oppositions, and most of the bills and the laws that get passed, they don't depend on the ANC only. They depend on other parties, the opposition parties. They also depend on individuals. You must remember that people in the ANC, they're individuals, they have struggles, they have different beliefs, and people grow, people change, and they may have a change of heart during parliament proceedings, during NCOP, the National Council of Provinces, when they're drafting these bills. So whatever they've promised, say during the Mbeki era or the Jacob Zuma era, whatever they have promised, the reason why they may have not achieved it yet, maybe because when they table these motions and table these bills before the parliament and the provincial government, they don't get the support that they want. Maybe some of their people who are members of parliament, they don't vote in favor of those bills and those propositions. So I think if you are still one of those people who are going to vote for the ANC, you need to think about, are you willing to have another 5 years and then potentially another 10 years that is going to be characterized by the same things that we have seen, or are you open to new ideas, open to other ideas? I for myself I have voted once in the local government, and this will be my second time voting. The last time I voted for the EFF. They were fairly new at that time. They were about 5 years old, or 4 years old in 2017 when I voted. So they were a young party, and at that time it made sense for me. And I'll also admit the fact that I didn't understand what was going on. I was just swayed by the smooth operation of the leader of the EFF. And I'm still very much an EFF guy, but I'm not going to advocate that you vote for the EFF. I'll just say vote for the party that you believe makes sense for you. So the ANC will still talk about better education, better service delivery. They will talk about the NHI. They will talk about creating better infrastructure, improving infrastructure. They'll talk about ESCOM and ending load shedding, things that we've been grappling with for the past 15 years, issues that for the past 30 years should have been addressed. The amount of budget that have been utilized or under the control of the ANC government, money came through their hands, and some looted, some wasted, and they did some good things also. And the World Cup 2010 came under the custodianship of the ANC. Many things came and went. They had an opportunity to table two development plans, your GEA and your RDP. So they've done quite a lot, but their manifesto or their 2024 version of promises are not different at all. They're still talking about the same thing. There's nothing new that they're saying. There's nothing outstanding or something wow that they're saying that will make them gain new supporters. Only maybe the possibility is that they're going to lose supporters because many people are tired. Many people have not been fans of the ANC, and I don't think with the way that they are moving, I do not believe that they are going to get new supporters. They might lose some. So, in a nutshell, the ANC is still the biggest party in the past elections when contesting for 40 seats. 400 seats in the National Assembly. They got about 230, while the DA had 84 and the EFF 44, and the other parties under that they had 14 seats, like the IFP, Freedom Front Plus about 10 seats, and other parties they like the ACDP had 4 seats, UDM they had about 2 seats, and the Good Party and parties like that. So looking at the performance in the last national elections, the ANC did well, even though it was not by a large margin. They are still the biggest party in the country. So if you want to make a change and you want to go out there and shift things and move things, you have to think, do I go and vote for them again, or do I give another party a chance? And there are some people who believe, you can vote, you don't have to vote for the same party. In the provincial, when voting for the mayor or voting for your national leader, you don't have to vote for the same party. You can mix it up. You can have one party nationally and another party provincially. So that's another way of thinking about it. So now, if you have to look at the DA being the number one opposition in the country. They, to be honest, I'm not a fan of the DA, and there are people who support the DA. There are people who volunteer for the DA. I just have a high level understanding of their principles. I don't have that deep understanding and deep belief and support that the other people have for the DA. There are young age. I'm in my 30s, and there are people in their 30s, in their 40s, who are fans of the DA. But there is a risk by supporting the DA, and there is a huge risk of disrupting things. But disruption sometimes is a good thing. If you come and disrupt a space, it can bring some change. And also, if you look through the DA's manifesto, they're talking about rescue SA. And if you are coming with the mindset of rescuing SA, you definitely going to act like a change agent, an agent of change. There is something called business rescue. So if you understand business rescue, there are businesses that are going through troubles, financial problems, cash flow problems, market expansion issues, businesses that are not growing. So this is in the corporate space, and when that happens, and a business, and sometimes it happens in the government space also with state-owned companies, when they are going through issues like your post office and so forth and so forth, they need what we call business rescue. And in business rescue, somebody gets allocated to come and revive that business, put measures into place, bring life back into that business, come with some innovative ideas, come with a new team, work on bringing that business up. This is very different to what you call filing for bankruptcy. Some businesses, they need to go through the bankruptcy process. They need to be closed down. So you need to put a custodian to handle that. So when you're talking about Rescue South Africa, I believe the DA, they have a plan, and their plan, in an ideal world, on paper, it looks like it works. It looks like it's well thought out. But to me, when I read their manifesto, I immediately cannot avoid that the fact that most of the things that they are saying there is favoring the rich. It's favoring people who are rich, and you will see that on the one of the highlights on the manifesto is they are talking about the Western Cape as an example. Some of the projects that they ran in the Western Cape, they are promising, and they are very proud of this, by the way, that they are promising to pay households and pay individuals money in return of the households and businesses generating electricity via solar into the grid, selling it to the country. These are pilot projects that they have run in the Western Cape. Solar panels can be able to produce enough energy and have surplus energy or over and above what you utilize in your home or what you utilize in your business. So they are saying that they are going to roll out this thing, or this way of work, in a national scale, in a larger scale, not just the Western Cape. They say that it's been proven, it works, and individuals, households, and businesses will make money via this thing of generating energy. And they are saying that also they will have a subsidy for energy creation. They will subsidize people wanting to buy solar and install solar in their homes. This is not different, by the way. The ANC and other parties, they say the same thing. But the DA, I believe, on their side, most of the things that they are proposing can be afforded by people who have money, people who are well off, the rich. And if you just look through the media and interact with some of the people from the Western Cape, you'll understand that there is some huge inequality there. They do, they do mention the addressing of inequality, but I don't believe that they can pull it off